if you're looking for a car that has won basically all the awards lately, you should look at this. Welcome to the 2025 Honda Civic Hybrid. My name is Jimmy, and this is a really well-rounded vehicle. It gives you all that you need in one small package. And it's not that small. The Civic is a lot bigger than it was. For the 11th generation that we're currently in, well, it's more grown up, it's more mature. Gone are the fake panels that you used to get on the 11th generation. Now it definitely looks more in line, well, in a regular car parking lot. It doesn't stand out, but it doesn't need to. It's a Honda. And being just your standard Civic, you know what? This is perfect. You got LED headlights up front, LED tail lamps on the back. It's a good looking vehicle, especially in the hatch that we have here. I think it's very well proportioned. 18-inch wheels, proximity door locks only on the front doors, not on the rear. It's fine. Being a hatch, you got tons of space. Opening up the tailgate and it reveals plenty of space to put in everything that you really need in here. You really don't have to worry about, well, space in a hatch like this. And if you really want a little bit more, 60-40 split folding rear seats so you can put whatever longer items you really need to. As for the rear seats, there's no compromise, being that it is a hybrid. Headroom is still really good. You still got plenty of legroom in here. If you're thinking of putting kiddo seats in here, well, I am a child passenger safety technician, so I do want to show you exactly how child seats fit. A Kleckling like this infant seat, no problems gliding this infant carrier in here. It is a hatchback or a sedan, so it is lower than that of an SUV, but there's still plenty of space, really, no issues with that. Or this Kleckfilm, there's plenty of space to put a rear-facing car seat in here, and when you flip them forward-facing, yeah, you shouldn't have any problems with that neither. The front seats, they bucket me quite well. They are power adjustable along with the passenger side, but I don't get a lumbar support. You only have 4F adjustment, you can lift, and of course, put the backrest up and down, but there's no lumbar support, which is maybe a little bit odd. You do get a heated steering wheel. I like the stitching that's on it. The buttons that's on it, they all work well. They're all very logically laid out. I like that. You do get some paddle shifters that don't do what you think paddle shifters should do, but I'll get to that during the driving portion. Digital cluster behind that, no heads-up display, but the cluster does show you really all that you need. It is a little customizable, but not too much, but it's fine. It shows you what you really need in a cluster. The infotainment has been updated. It's still the same size as it was. You have wireless CarPlay on this upper trim. Lower trims, you do have to plug it in to the USB-C ports. But it's a nice display. The only thing is, it is a little smaller than some other manufacturers. And because of that, well, when you're in CarPlay, everything is just a little bit more squeezed than if you were on a wider display like some other vehicles. But what's nice is climate control is all right there. All the buttons that you naturally find is easily accessible. And it's a very welcoming interior. Everything is just, well, it just falls naturally at hand. You can get in here, you can just drive, and anyone should be able to operate this vehicle. It's very logically laid out. There are some glossy black points that some people will complain about, but really, it's not at any touch points that honestly most people really care about. But what you will care about is that powertrain. This hybrid powertrain is unlike the previous from Honda. Essentially, you can think of this more as an EV with an extended range propulsion engine. And that's essentially what it gives you, because that engine only at highway speeds does it actually connect to the front wheels. Standard time, well, it's just using the electric motor that's on the front to power those front wheels. And with that, it's very different of an experience. It's almost very EV-ish, because most of the time you can run on the battery power like many hybrid vehicles, but the response is a lot more immediate, unlike, well, other hybrids of the past and other manufacturers where you kind of have to wait for that engine to come on to give you that extra oomph. You don't have to wait for that here. You put your foot down, it's quite quick just with that electric motor. Sure, when the engine comes on and comes singing, it does make things quicker, but it doesn't need that for that initial push. It's quite quick just by itself. And the overall vehicle, it's a lot quicker than you might expect. And it gives you shift points. As I said, there's no physical connection between that engine and the front wheels. There's no reason to have those shift points. But yet, Honda engineers, they put that in so you don't just listen to constant engine whine. It's very, very cool stuff. And it's just a cool experience. Put foot down. Shift. And it is quick. It really is quick. And it actually drives really well. The suspension is firm like a Honda should, but it's still soft enough to make it a very comfortable ride. Steering is great. There's actually a really good feel. So that way, when you turn, you know basically what's happening. There's a little bit more weight to that front end. Right now, on a very slippery surface, definitely feel that in the wheel. Put your foot down, it goes through gears. It's so cool. But you might be thinking, those paddles, can you control gears? Unfortunately, no. That only controls the regen. It's kind of weird. When you're in normal mode, like I am right now, you tap it once to increase regen, tap it a few more times on the left side to increase regen even more. But once you drive it normally for a few seconds, the little chevrons next to the D goes away and regen goes back to normal. It's not unless you're in sport or eco mode where if you do change the regen, it stays at that higher regen level or lower regen level depending on where you have it adjusted to. So it's a little weird because you would normally think paddles would do something with the transmission, but being that there is none, well, the paddles definitely do something else. I like this car overall. I really do. It's an excellent driving vehicle because it's a Honda Civic. And Honda Civics has always been a driver's vehicle first. Economy stuff was always second, but now, well, I mean, it's still not as good as a Prius, but it's still really good. I'm averaging like 5.5 liters for 100 kilometers, which honestly isn't all that bad. But pricing. As equipped, it's almost 41,000 Canadian dollars, which is a little bit much, if you ask me. 41,000 Canadian dollars is, yeah, it's definitely getting up there. And I know right now we're like at the end of the incentive cycle, but when you did, a Tesla Model 3 was like $4,000 or $5,000 more. It's not much more for a pure EV, which is, you know, a little bit more exciting in, you know, in terms of like just the overall, like package wise. But this, I mean, I get it. Not everyone can charge their, you know, vehicle at home. This is, well, you just put fuel in. You don't have to worry. 600 kilometers of range. It's all you really need. And what you can do is you can step down. This is the touring trim. If you don't need all the extra stuff like the Bose audio and whatnot, heated rear seats, which, you know, if you have kiddos, they are in a car seat. They don't feel that anyways. You can save a little bit money and just get the standard sport hybrid. And if you get the sedan, you actually save a little bit more money there as well. So that's really it. If you want a hybrid, this is definitely a good option. It doesn't stand out as much as a Prius, depending on, you know, which way you like to look at it. The Prius, you can get all-wheel drive, you can get a plug-in hybrid. I get those are real key selling factors as well, but maybe some people just don't want to look like that, you know, in a Prius. And this does drive better. It's more entertaining. And I think that's really it. Let me know if you have any questions in the comment section down below. Would you pick this? Would you pick a Corolla hybrid, a Lancia hybrid? both of those, while good vehicles, are nowhere near as exciting to drive as this. This is definitely a better package overall. But the Elantra, I think the Elantra, you can get cooled seats, which on some summer days is kind of nice. Anyways, have a good day, take care, and I'll talk to you later.